Yeah, thank you, Lynn. That conversation was very intimate and one of those conversations that sort of seared my soul and like, what am I doing personally? Like, what can I do? It really was, I don't know, we talked about it for many, many days and here we are. So this is such a thrill. So the one and only Tawakkol Karman was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2011, in recognition of her work for women's rights and democracy in Yemen. She became the first Arab woman, the second Muslim woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize, as well as the youngest Nobel Peace Prize laureate at that time at the age of 32. She is a mother of four adorable, amazing children, a journalist by profession, a human rights activist by nature. Tawakkol responded to the political instability and human rights abuses in Yemen by mobilizing others and reporting on injustice. In 2007, Tawakkol began organizing weekly protest in Yemen's capital, targeting systematic government repression and calling for inquiries into corruption and other forms of social and legal injustice. Her weekly protests continued from 2007 to 2011 when she redirected protesters to support, the Arab Spring. She's led hundreds of protests, hundreds against Yemen's dictatorial regime, advocating for democracy and freedom of speech. She founded Women's Journalists Without Chains, the Peaceful Revolution Youth Council, her own personal foundation, which we'll talk about at the end of this call. She's bold, she's outspoken, she's been imprisoned on a number of occasions for her pro-democracy, pro-human rights. She's known as the mother of the revolution, the Iron Woman, and the Lady of the Arab Spring. Time magazine listed her as one of the 17 most rebellious women in history. And one of the most, I love that, and one of the most influential women of the past century, featuring her on the cover of their 100 Strong Women in the World issue. I just love that. She's since winning the prize, she's like, I mean, endless what she does, but she continues to support female journalists and rally against government corruption and injustice. And one of her well-known quotes is, you have to be strong, you have to trust yourself, you have to know that you have the ability to achieve your dream. Being with her, knowing her, sitting in circle with her, going to delegations, hearing her speak, it's just been one of the biggest privileges of my life. Her unending, unyielding boldness, courage is it's almost it's just unspeakable. It's incredible. So thank you, Tawakkol. Come on. It is such a privilege to have you here with us. Welcome.
Okay, we look forward to seeing your beautiful face. Here she comes.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
I love you so much, Sarah, Lynn, and everybody here is coming with us. I'm so happy.
Where are you right now? Are you in Istanbul?
I am in Qatar now.
In
I am in Qatar, yeah.
Ah,
So, how are you all? I'm so happy to be with you. I'm so happy to have all these online people come to listen to me, to share with me the challenges that our world, our humanity faces, and also how can we together address it. I love you, Lynn. I love you, Sarah, and thank you for inviting me to this very important session event. And let me say that thank you for the title of the event, awakening and awaken and act. Oh my God, that is the best slogan for me. Because it's actually represents my journey from the day one, it was, calling people to wake up in my country. through my articles, and through my sit-ins and demonstrations. I was carrying my microphone, walking from neighborhood to neighborhood, from Change Square to Sana'a University to governorates in Yemen, calling Yemeni with this: wake up, wake up. You should wake up, wake up, wake up, and act now for saving our country from dictatorship, from corruption, from failure, and from terrorism. So thank you for this great slogan. And I hope this slogan will do a lot of things for the people that is, with us today, because this slogan did a lot for people in my country. Really, people woke up and gathered in a very historical moment. Millions of people, while I was somehow alone, with a small number of victims and a small number of human rights activists, and nobody expected that Yemeni people will listen to us and will follow our call. And what the result was that we forced the dictator to step down. So and that was a very, very impossible mission, impossible dream, but I never had any doubt that we will achieve it. This is number one. Number two, also for the organization itself, the name itself, it's really attract me. It's the soul of money. That is very important, because what's known is the money equals greed. So yeah, so I think with this name of this institution, which is very important, it's make another definition of the money. That money should have soul. The soul of money means giving purpose and conscience to your wealth. The soul of money is found when wealth becomes a servant of humanity. When your resources, your influence, your networks are guided by conscience, by compassion, then at that time your money has a soul. So I hope that that this organization will achieve its goal on making money carry a noble soul. So of course, no, we need the soul of money today in this very challenges time, that the all humanity facing a very great risk, a very great challenges that is in many fields. And let's talk about the main issues and challenges that faces our humanity. The first challenges, which is the existence challenge, is that our earth is collapsing because of the global warming, and because the greed activities of the countries, superpower countries and companies and individuals, attacking, the environment, and that causes, the global warming. This is number one. Number two, that the human rights, democracy are really in decline. While we had a progress during, since we established the United Nations until now, with the human rights charters, conventions, but now in the last years there is a very bad, great deterioration in the human rights in general, and democracy in particular. And the third thing, which is that big gap between the wealth nations, wealth people, and poor nations and poor people, that spread poverty, that attack the social and justice economy, and that there is, imagine that we are in the 21st century, that there are people that sleep without food, sleep with hunger, that there are people that couldn't have any access to education, to water. So this is the most important. There's many challenges. I can give you lectures and lectures about it, but there is many challenges. But these the most important three challenges that faces the human being, and we people. And let's start with people. You, Sarah, you, Lynn, me, and people with us, and all people around the world who really care about others, and also who doesn't care about others because they have to care. We have to awaken them to care. We have to do something, and I believe that we can do a lot. We can do the impossible. I start with individuals, people. I start with NGOs, with companies, and I also then talk about governments. Usually, in all my narratives, my speech, I always calling about the responsibility of governments that failing the human being, that failing the humanity, and how we have the responsibility to do something to convince those governments around the world, especially the governments of the superpower governments, to do their responsibility. That is very important. We can talk about it. I will talk about it later. But now, after this, the collapsing and the deterioration and of everything, people like you, like me, has to do something to create initiatives. We have to gather our voices. We have to gather our capabilities to solve problems around the world, to solve problems in our societies, in our communities, in our region, and also around the world. From our side, we people. I am from Yemen, and I live in a country that's surrounded with the dictatorialism regime, and I believe that the first reason of failure, the first reason of corruption, the first reason of injustice is the existence of the tyranny system. So from our side, we put our lives on the front line, calling for peaceful revolution against dictators. And before that, we called them to make reforms, but they didn't accept. They didn't make anything, Then when it was the last chance, the last choice for us to save our countries, we did a great revolution against dictatorial regimes in my country, Yemen, and other countries in Arab Spring countries. And we still in that revolution, calling for freedom, calling for justice, calling for democracy, and calling for development. And we're still in that battle. We didn't give up, and we will not give up. And there is another thing that people like you, special people in the US and in the Western countries in general, the well-known, or the countries that claim that they are democrat, that now really democracy is in a very, very great danger. And now the danger that is surrounding democracy, it is not in our countries only. While we are sacrificing for democracy, for freedom, now this danger is surrounding you, people in your countries, in the Western countries, the countries that claim that they are democrats, that they respect human rights. And that is very big danger, very big threat that will collapse your countries. So you people, companies, NGOs, individuals should be brave to depend on your democracy, should stand up to any dictator who will rise, or any dictator action who will be, implemented in your countries. You should refuse and reject any kind of hate and racism, because this is the hate, racism, division is the tools of tyranny. If it's discover itself with the democratic regime, is the tyranny tools. There is a very important Machiavelli, tool, slogan, that divide and rule. So the hatred, the racism that is increasing every day in the Western countries is something really all of us should gather ourselves to stop it. So this is just my opening remarks, but we can talk. I know if I will continue, I will not stop, Len, and you told me that you want to make a lot of questions. So, but in general, I'm so happy that hundreds of people are listening to me today, and I hope that I will convey their voices, not just my voice, their dreams, not just my dream, and all the voices and the dreams of people for that really sacrifice, struggle for freedom, for democracy, for love, for peace, for development.
Thank you, Tawakkol, for that opening. Very powerful statement of what's so really. There's so many things to say about what you've said. It's so clear that racism and inequality and can't is the tool of tyranny. They are tools of tyranny, and we have such inequality now in our nation. The recent news about one person being offered $1 trillion to stay in a company, while the SNAP payments for people who are hungry are being withdrawn in the same day, kind of displayed the intensity of the inequality of our country, and also the constant attacks on people who are less fortunate and people of color. It's so intense now in our country, and we've been a little bit paralyzed by the speed and acceleration of what's been happening. And so I would like to get into some of those facts, but there is one thing I wanted to ask you, because the Nobel Peace Prize is the highest honor a human being can receive on this planet. There is nothing more profoundly acknowledging of a human being than the Nobel Peace Prize. And you, as a young woman with children, a Muslim woman who covers her head and who went out in the streets when you could have been killed, and you were jailed, you were in prison. And then the whole world recognized you as the mother of the revolution and gave you the Nobel Peace Prize. And I just wanted to ask you to be a little bit personal just for a moment, because I want people to hear what it was like to get that call when the Nobel Committee told you you were winning the Peace Prize in 2011. Can you just say something about that?
It was a great moment. First, I didn't know that I even nominated. I was totally busy with the peaceful revolution. 9 months, sleep, eat, discuss, lead this demonstrations in the squares against the dictator. And suddenly I was in my tent, and suddenly I saw some of youth, the revolutionary youth was dancing around my tent and singing about that we won Nobel Peace Prize. Tawakkol is the sign of Peace Prize. And that was a very great moment. It was a great recognition from the world of my work as Tawakkol, as a woman, as a Yemeni woman who started calling for peaceful demonstration, while my country own more than 70 billion piece of weapon. It's the second country that the society own weapons after the United States, by the way, and calling them to leave your weapons aside and come with flowers and with chanting and with hope and dreams into the square, for the peaceful revolution. And for me as a woman, and for the peaceful revolution itself. It is the recognition that for millions of Yemenis, for women, for youth, for the peaceful revolution, who risked everything for freedom. So for me, the Nobel Peace Prize was not the end of a struggle. It was the beginning of a great responsibility. So that was a very big victory, very big victory. But calling me as the mother of revolution, for me is more important than Nobel Peace Prize laureate. I like both, title. So I'm so happy because we carry the values. It's recognition of our values, of our call for freedom, for justice, for democracy. And as I said, it's a responsibility,
I just want
very
to,
big responsibility.
yeah, I just want to say that I think the power of the Nobel Peace Prize and how you've used it to amplify your own voice, which was already a huge contribution to to peace on this planet, but was, kind of, let's say, limited to the Middle East, and now you have a global voice like this particular call, and I really appreciate that you've taken that seriously. Your love for peace, your love for not only your country, but your love for humanity is where I find your passion so inspiring. And that in the United States, we're somewhat paralyzed now and not in the action that we need to be moving in, and that the kind of divisiveness pushes us towards anger rather than love. And I'm just want to thank you for the example that you said. And then Sarah's going to ask you the next question, but I just wanted to respond to your response by saying what I see you bringing as the mother of the revolution being more important to you than the Peace Prize is the power of the love of the mother. The love of a mother is unstoppable, cannot be stopped, can't be truncated, can't be minimized, and you love now the human family. So I'm going to turn it over to Sarah to ask you the next question.
Okay. So my favorite thing is that you're the most rebellious woman in history. The top 17. That's my favorite one. I'm holding that one. This is a little bit of a personal question as well from me, really, to ask you personally, what are the key factors, the qualities that sustain you personally as a woman standing for human rights and democracy in your country? I mean, these are things that what you're going to say, we're going to learn from, and what's needed from all of us. Just being in your presence, I wanted to do whatever it is you're doing. So I'd love to just have you share on a personal level again, what has you keep going and what sustains you to be the powerful, amazing, rebellious, the most rebellious, one of the most rebellious women in history.
Okay, this is also the second title that I like, most rebellious.
I do.
Look, it's faith, hope, and conviction. It was, really was my constant, companions. And hope, it's very important thing, very important thing, because anyone that who doesn't carry responsibility, who doesn't put him or herself in the leadership position on thinking in others, maybe he will lose hope, because chaos is everywhere, especially in our countries. Chaos is everywhere. Dictator is surrounding with you with all kind of failure, with all kind of poverty, with all kind of fear. So hope was my weapon, that yes, sometimes, one time, I will be able to do something different to my country. It is the responsibility. I feel myself, I appointed myself that the responsible who will do something else, who will do the difference, who will save my country, who will create the initiative. And while I put myself in this leadership position, I decided to never give up. I decided to never lose hope, and I decided to don't fail my people. And also, I believe that tyranny has no future, that every dictator, every tyranny eventually fails. What sustained me, it is not the absence of fear, which is sometimes it happened, but the presence of purpose. I carry the purpose for my people. And this is what I'm telling you, people in the United States. And you, Sarah, I remember the first time that we met and I gave my speech and you came to me and while you cry and Tawakkol, we are with you in your struggle. And I hope that I can do something. And I don't know what can I do in my country. We are not facing the same challenges, etc., etc. I told you, and I will tell you the same thing. You have to be with the people, and this is not just to you, Sarah, to every people here in this gathering. You have to be with people. You have to ask yourself, especially I know that most of the people here, they carry high net, which is very important. Very important. The wealth, the money should serve the human being. You should ask yourself not just how much profit you have. You should ask yourself how much impact you did. How many lives you uplift, how much dignity you protect, how many schools, how many hospitals, how many road you build. So it's you have to ask yourself how much you contributed in the social responsibility, in the social work. This is the thing that gives you as a human being, even if you don't have money, the meaning of life. What about if you have money? This is what I'm telling you and others, that you have to help people who suffer from poverty, from ignorance, from war, from conflict, from tyranny. You have to help them. You have to listen them. You have to be to support them. You have to believe in them that they are carrying Nobel values, that they are not terrorists. And this is the most important title that tyranny name the people that fight for freedom. So they are not terrorists. They are not people with no dreams or no goal. No, people carry the greatest noble value, the greatest noble purpose, which is saving their countries from tyranny, from injustice, from poverty. And when they do this for their countries, they serve their countries in one hand, and in other hand, they serve the humanity. Because the humanity shouldn't be ruled by any dictator around the world, because dictators around the world, they pose the greatest risk to the global security. This is number one. Number two, the answer to your question is also now you have it is something else than you asked me before, another condition. You asked me before, while your country doesn't have, or the world doesn't have, the big decline in democracy. Now United States is under a very big threat. You, Sarah, you people need to put yourself in the leadership position to save your country. America deserves to stay a democratic country, to stay a country that protect freedom of expression, that protect the freedom of knowledge of the universities that protect people. United States now is unfortunately with the increasing hate, increasing racism, increasing the attacking of institutions. Really, if it will continue to that time, that it will collapse. And I told you this is from my experience. From my experience, this is the tool of the tyranny. So you have to do all your effort to defend on your democracy, not just for America, which is the most important thing. This is what America deserves, but also for people around the world. Now our dictator is so happy because what is happening in the United States, or what is happening in the Western, some of the Western countries. They said, okay, look, what is happening? This is the democracy. Look, so the democratic countries, what they are doing. So it's very important to announce yourself and gather people with you, help students, help youth, help movements inside the United States, outside the United States, to save their democracy. Because dictators, because authoritarian regimes are, they are gathering themselves. They are become stronger, and unfortunately, the camps of democratic people are, become, weakening. This is because of the policy of government, and also because of that the private sector doesn't do its responsibility. I'm saying that it's responsibility. It is not charity. It's responsibility. So you have to do all what you can to help your people, to save America from this deterioration, to help students, to help people around the world. I met a lot of NGOs inside the United States. They've been closed because there is no fund, because the will of the regime itself, and because of the fears that now surrounded the some of the donors that helped them before. So this is a very big threat. So like when NGOs, when human rights activists, when journalists doesn't have real resources, they will not stop, because they have the passion, they have the purpose, but they need you. They need you as a people who have wealth. And even if you don't have wealth, they need you as a person. So America needs you. We people around the world needs you. So you have the chance. You have the chance to stand against dictator. You have the chance to stand against injustice. You have the chance to stand against poverty. And also there is many things that we can discuss. But also, people in those countries that suffer from poverty, from ignorance, from lack of access to water, they need you. They need you, people. So please wake up.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
that was just going to be the next question, and I don't know that I need to ask it, but we and I
thank you.
just
Wait,
want,
just let me just say thank you for that. That was just like a. It makes me want to literally stand up in my chair right now. So it's so powerful and affirming, and the presence of purpose really stuck out for me along the way.
But I want to add that defense of democracy in the United States is not only a national issue. It is a global responsibility. So the world see to the America as a mirror of democracy. So when democracy weakens there, dictators everywhere feel stronger.
yeah, that's actually what we were going to ask you next, but you've answered the question before we ask it. I just want to say something about what you've said, because I think in the United States, one of the things that your sister Laureate Lema Bowie, who won the Nobel Prize for her work in Liberia to end that war, she spoke to us at the meeting that I described at the beginning of this call and said, you're too comfortable in the United States. You don't realize what you're losing. You've always had access. You've always had so many privileges. You've had, your democracy isn't perfect, but you've had a voice. and you don't realize what you're losing. And it is really true, Tawakkol, that a lot of people are worried and concerned and hand-wringing and looking at the news and being upset, but they don't act. And one of the things that you provided for us when we were in New York with you is the motivation and the awakening, like Awaken and Act, the name of this webinar. We have to wake up to the responsibility of the historic moment that we're in right now. It is not a normal time. It is not just another year. It is 2025, and the world is turned upside down, and the United States is setting an inappropriate example, as you say, and giving unholy permission to countries around the world to do things that the United States has never been a symbol of before. And so now to realize how important our impact is, and for us, those of us living in the United States and those of us living outside the United States, to realize the impact the United States has on the rest of the world is way more than we are really being responsible for. And you just said this, but I'm saying it myself. And to, go about our lives that are comfortable, and we can sort of put the news and the difficulties over there. It's just not acceptable any longer. And it's really why we're having this call. And the fact that we have been comfortable for so long has put us in a kind of a we need to build a scaffolding for action, a scaffolding for awakening, a scaffolding for taking action and really demonstrating that we love and care for human rights and for humanity. So I'm really just underlining what you're saying and letting you know that why we're having this call, and we hope to have many calls like this to awaken and act and get motivated and inspired to realize the impact that we have. Everything, every choice we make has a huge impact on the whole world. So that I'm really just underlining what you've already said, and then these actions that you're telling us to take. It's almost like we want to pull from you how to build a scaffolding for action, how to create pathways for people out of this call, so that they end this call with not just, wow, she's amazing. Tawakkol Karman is so brave. She's so courageous. She's so awesome, which is true. But I learned from her that I need to do way more than I've been doing. I need to step up in way more places and opportunities than I have before. I need to awaken my soul. And in the United States, we've become, as you pointed out, it's not we the people anymore, it's we the money. It's we the money that controls our government, that controls our corporations, that controls the media, that controls education, that controls everything. And we need to have our voices, the humanity of who we are, take charge again. And we've let it be we the money instead of we the people. So anything else you want to say about the role of the United States in the world, and the power that we have here to not only stand up to what's happening in our own country, but do it in a way that gives a different kind of example to the world. Can you say more about that?
And also, can you add to that? Just what shows up right now, like actions we can take, right? What shows up for you right now and all the amazing things you said, because as Lynn shared, wow, that's amazing. And what do we do? What are some things we can do? So kind of a twofold question. Say whatever, say it all.
Look, it's very important to awaken the Western governments, Western policy itself, because now the arising of dictatorship, it's threatening themselves. It's threatening the country itself. I don't want to mention, to go in many details in this regard, but they will not be able to save the national interests of the Western countries if they continue on supporting tyrannies around the world. So talking about America now and other countries that fall in the now that fell, or sorry for my English, in the hate speech, in the racism, in the anti-institution act, in the tyranny, actions, in the anti-democratic, works. There is something else. It's not talking about the current administration. It's about the policy itself. That the Western governments, unfortunately, they betray their values of that they announced, that the supporting human rights, supporting freedoms, while they really make alliance with dictators in our countries. We people are suffering from a real dictatorship, the worst dictatorship that you ever seen, and I hope that you will not see like this in any time. So those dictators was protected and still protected by the Western policy. I don't talk about only the current administration, whether they are Democratic or whether they are Republican, whether they are, especially in other, parties in other Western governments, they didn't have real policy to support human being. They just make alliance with dictators, and those dictators killed their people, and they put the interests above the values, while the interest really lies on the will of people who will really make security, who will create security, and who will be the great partner for those for those countries. So we have to be in one big fight, in one big camp, to fight this kind of a rising of authoritarian. Whether you are liberal, you are conservative, you shouldn't support dictators anywhere. And now, talking about the anti-immigration, the xenophobia, the Islamophobia, and even the anti-Semitism, all these kind of raising of rhetoric that divide the society, as I told you, it's a tools of those tyrannies that they will be able to control the narrative, control the people, and control also their tents, when the election came. So you have to stop this kind of dividing your country. Dividing your country. You should. In my country, in our country, the dictators, the tyrannies, the first thing that they did is to divide people in our countries, in Arab countries, to Muslims, Christian, Jewish, Druze, etc., and Sunni, Shi'i, and through this division, they could have the ability to rule and to spread the fears between people. From people, everyone fear for other. And now this is what is happening. This is what I see in the United States. And spread the fear, spread the hate between people. No, you should raise one voice that you are one nation, regardless that you are Republican or Democrat or other party. You are Muslim, Christian, Jew, non-believer. You are belonging to one country, and you have to reclaim your freedom. Now we have to free the Western countries from this bad, rhetoric. So you have a very big responsibility now. Otherwise, I'm telling you from my experience, you are in a very danger. But at the same time, I am so confident that you people and the new generation will save your country. Because this is what I'm seeing, and this is what I see through the new generation that refuses the hate, that refuses the tyranny, that refuses the crimes, that their social media is full of calling for compassion, is full of rejecting of injustice. This is a very good also. This is the real meaning of awakening. This is what the new generation is now. They woke up and they refuses, the current, policies. You have to invest in this, in dialogue, in love each other, in accept each other, in refusing injustice, in protecting your country. So you have a lot of things. And last time, 3 days ago, I was in San Diego, and I told the universities there, I told them how they should protect the academic freedom, but I end my speech with something that I said always when I came to stages like this. I tell people about how we people in our countries dream for freedom, dream for dignity, for democracy, for rule of law, and how we continue our battle, and we will not give up, and we will win this battle. And I encourage you to be with us, to be our voice, and to stop your governments from attacking our will for change, on supporting dictators, etc., etc. But now I'm telling you that your struggle is our struggle. We are now in the same square, freedom square. You have the same battle. We have the same battle. So your struggle is our struggle. Our struggle is your struggles, and your freedom is our freedom. We need to free Western governments from this double standards policy, from this deterioration to the hate, racism, and authoritarian activities. And I believe that young people will win this battle.
Yes. Wow. I'm hearing some pathways for action. Number one, not give up, ever, 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 no matter what happens. That there, anywhere where people are divided, to not allow that division to get into your soul, and to connect and relate, and know that we have to reach out and connect with one another, that we are one nation, that we're in this together, no matter what our opinions are. I'm hearing you say that we want to stop our government in any way we can from supporting tyranny or dictatorships around the world. I'm hearing you say that when we get in fear, we need to move out of it into action. I'm hearing you. I'm actually going to add that some of the ways that we can act is to, as you said earlier, and I just was starting to write down some of the things that are actually actions, to fund and support NGOs and organizations that are working for peaceful solutions and actually spiritual solutions. And to join an organization that has people in action, to stand up and speak. This is something you didn't say, but I know it's in the fabric, to use our democracy while we still have it, and speak to our elected representatives and let them know what we want from them. And I want to add, pay attention to corporations that are folding and going with tyranny, when in fact that we withdraw our financial support from corporations that are folding into kind of buying into the tyranny that's starting to happen in our country.
Very important, Lynn. Lynn, this is very important, talking about corporations. Look, as I told you in the first thing, in the first of my remarks, that money is like the power, is power. So it hasn't any soul until you give it.
Yes.
You give the soul to this money. So you will not be able to give your money soul, life, until your vision is to be with compassion, with courage. You have to be brave. You have to be brave. You shouldn't help any authoritarian regime or any regime to be corrupt. You can grow without corruption. You can grow with helping people. I am really sad to see this time that NGOs are suffering.
Yes.
The NGOs that really, really are suffering inside the United States and outside the United States. People needs help. People needs help. Money can do a lot. Money, it is not just to buy cars, to buy planes, to buy shoes, to buy buildings. It's to serve people. It's to have, this is make your legacy to be like this inside United States and outside United States. So when you put your money in the hand of those great people, you are one of them. So don't be one of them. And we want to change the world or not. I'm talking to the people who want to change the world. If there is someone who is greed, I will encourage him to be compassionate. But if there is someone is not great, I'm telling him to be more brave. So this is what we are suffering. The human rights activists, they are suffering from the lack of resources. The lack of resources, because those donors afraid from supporting freedom, from supporting justice. They afraid from which is it's the corner. Is the corner to fight poverty. You have to fight to help people, to fight corruption, to fight tyrannies. But also, on the other hand, you have to help people, you know, to challenge poverty. I will give you an example. I have my foundation, Tawakkol Karman Foundation. I have a good people who help me in this organization. And through our resources, we build some schools. We built until now more than 40 schools. We rehabilitate more than 50 hospitals, universities, and we did a great work with a very simple resource. When I go to one village in Yemen, and I see that there is no school, while there is in this city, son of the city is a very famous rich man. I feel mad. Why didn't he help his at least village? Why this village? He born here, or even his name came from this. Why there is no skill? And there is a lot of rich people who doesn't want to help people. And this is another kind of tyranny. Another kind of tyranny. Tyranny is not just attacking the democracy itself. Tyranny is, just to obsess the money around you and to don't help people. To increase the gap between the most wealthiest people and that create wars, conflict, terrorism, instability, and everything. So I really call you to grow with ethics. It's very important. So any business without ethics, it's destruction.
Yes.
It's destruction. So be with people and help people. And yes, now in the current government, they closed, for example, the US aid, but you people are there. You have to create the alternative. You have to. They close USAID or other agencies that help people in the suffering. You should be the alternative. Tell them, okay, we are here. Don't be afraid. Now a lot of NGOs are closing because they don't have funds. It's shame. It's shame.
Yes. Yeah. So we need to step up and fill the gaps that are left by the withdrawal of funds from the government. We all need to do that. Sarah, did you want to ask another question? I wanted to say a couple things, but go ahead.
I just want to say, to add to list of action is to really support the next generation. The next generation, as you call, like the absolute vital importance of it and their voice and how effective that is. So that was another action that I felt was really stood out for me. But Lynn, what do you want to say? And then I do want to call in a few people. So
yeah, we're going to open it up for a few people. I just want to say I'm a trustee at something called the Fetzer Institute, and I think the Soul of Money is this. I think the Pachamama Alliance is this. I think we all know that action is really important. We need to awaken and act. And there's a deep spiritual response that we need to bring to bear too. If we look at the spiritual response, the ethics, the integrity, the wholeness, the love, the humanity that lives in us, and when we're angry, we transform that anger into action. When we're afraid, we reach out to people, that we stay in our humanity and the spiritual power that comes from love. And that we're bold. And the thing that's so great about you is you're so passionate, you're so powerful, you're so, fired up. But I know at the heart of it all is love and a spiritual soul. So you're not attacking, you're standing firm. And it's really important to make these distinctions. As Mother Teresa said, she said, and the unadulterated love of one person can nullify the hatred of millions. And the love of country, the love of each other, and connecting with people, as you say, connecting with people, that's the key. So
Len, I'm not attacking.
I
I'm
know you're not.
calling the
That's what I mean.
conscience.
No,
Yeah,
you're standing. You don't
yes,
attack. You stand.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
It's so
I'm
powerful.
calling the conscience, the people that they have to do something. I believe that everyone can do a lot of that. I am a simple woman from a very simple country. Started with myself alone, and
Yes.
I never get with nothing except dream, hope, and believe in people. I
Yes.
believe in people. I believe in people that they can create change, that they can lead, the current and the future. So because of that, I'm telling you, you are the one who will change all this chaos.
Whole
All
world.
this chaos, and I believe in that, and I see it, and I promised on it when I give my lecture in the Nobel Prize, and before that in the Yemeni squares, telling that I see that the world will be better, and this is what I see every day. With this, يعني without yeah, mention, well, the hatred is there, the dictatorship, but there is look, there is the arising of dictatorship, of hatred from one hand, but from other hand there is awareness, a
Yes.
rising of awareness. There is a great young people that I have, I bet on them that they are carrying, this flag. So let's not يعني make these young people alone. People who can help them should be with them. Not just help them, should be with them in Yemen, in Arab region, in Africa, in Latin America, and in the US. And here I want to say something I didn't mention it before. Also, your responsibility to save the earth from the global warming.
Yes,
That is very important. There is
absolutely.
a lot of companies here that maybe they are participating in the pollution.
Yes.
And that is, you have to carry responsibility to take initiatives to low the global warming, to low the destruction of the ecosystem of our earth. That is very important. You should save this earth for the coming generation, and absolutely, you are the first one who can do that. The first one
Perfect.
person who can do that. You can, this is a very big responsibility, because also with this pollution, it increased the poverty, it increased the wars, it increased the conflict.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So with that, I'm going to call on a few people. One person is an amazing woman in her 20s, Ayadeli Abdul Hadi, and I'd love her to come on the screen. She represents what you're talking about, that new generation, next generation. She's phenomenal. Just graduated law school, doing amazing things in the world. So, Aya, what would you like to share, comment, ask?
First of all, this was a really wonderful speech, and I'm so honored to be here to ask you my question. I'm really excited at the conversation, especially on the emphasis of investing in the youth. So, my question is, When you think about the class divide that is often exasperated during these times of injustice, how do you see the different unity efforts distinguished between people of different class statuses? Because not everyone has the same financial power and financial responsibility. So for young people who maybe don't have as much income to be able to invest and put money and finances into these NGOs or into these other forms of investing in community, how do you see the different roles and responsibilities that people have depending on their class or their financial income level?
Yeah. Start where you are. Start with every يعني shortest thing that you have. Start with where you are in your families, communities, schools, workplace. Speak up. Speak up and be brave. It is not just, it is not matter, and this is to the young people. It is to the young people. Be brave and don't afraid from the consequences if you how can I say it in English? I started to lose my English. But in general, don't make what you call class to define how you participate in your work. It is not, when I'm calling, it is not just calling, go to the street and go to the sit-ins and demonstrations. For us as a people and from it was our last choice when the dictator, when the tyranny didn't make or respond to any call of reforms. But before that, we did the great things to convince him to do that. So it is, you don't have to hold a banner to the street, which is very important, when everything is collapsed. But sometimes it begins with conversation. That restores dignity. You have to convince people, and now I see a lot of, oh my god, I follow a lot of podcasts from American people, and from there is a lot of shift. They started to be people who are so conservative against immigration, against freedom in general. They are now against Palestine, for example. They are now speaking the truth because there was some kind of connection with them. There was some kind of convincing them. Social media also is a very strong platform. You can use it for spreading freedom, for spreading justice, etc. So anywhere, any class you are, which is, I don't like the class term, because when we translate it to Arab, it is not that good. The class itself, you shouldn't say that I am poor, I am rich. I am rich because I am rich. I'm afraid because of my business. I am poor. I don't have that resources to do that. No, you have to be leader in your field, in your family, in your community, and to be the voice of people, inside your community and outside it.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing,
Oh,
Tawakkol.
thank you. Okay, I want to get a couple more in because I know they're going to be really juicy. That was fantastic, powerful. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to call on Mario Trigueros, who is someone who is absolutely committed to the preservation of our planet and steeped in all the work that you're talking about. So, Mario.
Thank you so much, all of you. I'm so stirred, and I think what I wanted to actually echo more, I feel like you've given so much. I actually don't even have a question as much to reflect back to you. So much of what I heard when you speak of the accomplishment of the Peace Prize and everything is you reflect back to your people, and it's a word we often don't use in the United States. Who are our people? Who are you willing to be uncomfortable for, to risk it all for? As you said that your allies and your partners who you've worked shoulder to shoulder for, they risked it all. Who are our people? Whether it's the ones who are suffering on the front lines right now, immigrants and others, or who live in our neighborhood. I just want to reflect back how powerful it is to consider who are our people, not only for the actual people, but when we start looking at global warming and dealing with the planet, that how do we even understand the plants and the trees and the animals, not just as resources, but as people deserving of our love and our action as well. So I just want to thank you so much for reflecting back and anchoring. For me, I'm leaving with a question of who are our people that we are willing to risk it all for. So thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Mario. That was wonderful.
I really love American people. I really do. Wallahi, I really do. I lived in America for 5 years, and I knew them. Regardless, it is something. I don't know how can I say it in English, but it's like a passing cloud. It's a really passing cloud. This is not you. What is happening in America, it is not you. And I know people, they are Democrat, they are conservative, they are Christian, a lot of friends. Oh my God, my best friend are Jewish, Muslims, non-believers. I know them, most of them, and I made a lot of speeches around the world, in America, in many universities, in many forums, in many. You have a great people. A
Wow.
great people. Wallahi, I swear, you have a great people. And they have a very good conscience. They have a very good, will to do something. That when they hear you, if they don't know, they want to know. They don't have the ability to do something. They ask and they want to change. And what is happening in America? Yes, it is. It is something very big. It's a chaos, but let's take it from another thing, another advantage way that make people awake. People now is no more search for the fact, search for what is happening. And remember when I told you in the beginning, when you deal with people who fight for freedom and for justice, don't think that they are terrorists or they are loser. I mean it.
Yeah.
I mean it, because now what I see that people are looking for, searching what is happening in Arab Spring. What is happening in Arab Spring? There are great people who just dreamed for freedom and democracy and prosperity. They want to live like other people who live under freedom and democracy. They want to have dignity. So the tyranny portrayed them as a terrorist, as a loser. So now what is happening with this chaos? You started to test the bad test of authoritarian action. They started to think, oh my God, what about the people who are suffering for decades from those authoritarian regime? So be proud of your people who are demonstrating everywhere against racism, against hatred. Listen to them, not just see to the blackness, to the darkness. No, there is a great awakening in the, and I will remind you one day, how will you, American people, will save America? Not just save America, will put America in the right side of the history. Because America, as a policy, not as a people, as a policy, was not, especially in our regarding to our issues, was not in the right side of history. First, they support occupation, they support dictators, they occupied our countries in Iraq, in Afghanistan, and they destroyed our countries, and then they complain from the chaos. So now I think what is coming, it is not just a awakening for to say that democracy in America, it's more than that, is to correct the policy of America
Right.
toward inside America and outside America. And in addition, what I saw in America is something also from other side is something, oh my God, what is happening? Am I in America? There is no health care. There is no education rights. There is homeless everywhere. What is that? I think the new generation will correct this thing.
Love that. I
Well,
love that.
it will not just, for it will, I don't have any doubt that young people in America will correct all the mistakes that America did before toward other countries, and also with America as a policy did toward its people, especially in the regarding to the healthcare, in regarding to the education rights, and to the right of people to live in a home.
Thank you. Wow.
Wow. Okay. Could listen to you forever. Okay, I'm going to call one more person to make a comment, Judy, and then we're going to,
Wrap it up.
unfortunately, going to wrap it up. So, Judy, can you share, say a comment?
Oh my gosh, I'm blown away. It's an honor to be here and listen to you. It's a gift, and it's a gift to be on this call. And one of the things I want to say up front is that I've been involved in the peace building movement since Vietnam, and it has evolved. And one of the things that a lot of people in the peace movement that we've been talking about is the fact that we need to join together. That saving the planet, having peace, nonviolence, ending wars, it's all one thing. And I think this is a demonstration today that we make a bigger impact when we have a louder voice. And we have to have a loud voice. And here we are with the woman of revolution. And what an example you are of how we all need to act and work together. So I'm just pleased, so honored to be here and to see this starting to manifest of us all working together, coming together, whether we've been involved in the environment, restorative justice, anti-war, whatever. It's all the same thing. And you represent that same thing. If I had an opportunity to ask you a question, which I guess I do, I would say, what do you see going forward that is the most powerful ingredient to move this peace building, world-saving movement forward? What is the thing that you see from your heart, and particularly looking at our country, which is, as you say, in such chaos? What is the gift that we all need to give each other?
And Tawakkol, we only have a couple minutes left here, so
You got to do a condensed
version.
bullet version of that answer.
Okay, I will put my email so you can contact me for more questions in the future. This is my email, tkarman@takif.org. But in general, lead. This is the solution. Lead. You have to create a new leadership because we have a lack of leadership, of a responsible, compassionate leaders. So you have to be compassionate enough to build your business, your work with ethics. You have to put yourself in the leadership field, and you have to help people to be the new leaders of the United States, of the new leaders of Yemen, the new leaders of any other country, because with leadership, we can still solve a lot of things. Leadership, not just in the presidency, in every field. So lead.
Wow.
My email, if you want to change, lead. And when you lead with ethics and with compassionate. My email is what said that is tkarman@takif.org. I love you so much, and thank you so much for coming and listen to me. And I hope to meet you in person one day, or if we couldn't make it in person, we make another webinar together. Love you so much.
We'll do a new one. Awaken, act, and lead.
Yay!
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I just want to say really quick, because I want to also remind people of your foundation, and we'll put the links in the chat, but thank you. This This exceeded my expectations, which I knew it would. Thank you for finding the time for us in your life and in the work you're doing around the world. Thank you for the inspiration, the motivation, the beauty, your presence. I mean, you've changed my life. This call has changed my life. So
Someone is asking about our
And I will speak also for your foundation, very important.
Yeah, Tawakkol.org and tkkarman@tawakkol.org.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Tawakkol,
Lindsay.
thank you for, I want to thank you for all of us for the example you set, the love that you embody, the courage, and that you never give up. And we will never give up. We will never give up. And the hope and possibility and inspiration that you are will sustain us forever. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone, the Soul of Money, Pachamama, Peace Alliance, all the people who helped put this together, and especially the Nobel Women's Initiative.
Last thing, just seconds. I want to mention my sisters in Nobel Women Initiative. We have a great initiative. We are 8 Nobel laureates are working together for defending human rights, for supporting women in the field. And I hope that we have chance another time to speak to you, to listen to you, to speak with us, and to come with us in our delegation to the countries under conflict. Thank you and love you all.
excellent. And we'll send a recording of this to every single person that registered, and we'll put the links to all of these organizations that we're talking about. And let's do this again. Awaken, act, and lead.
Awaken, act, and lead.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Bye.